It is interesting that in our society it is totally okay to spend $50,000 on a heart attack, but what would people say if you spent that amount of money on just having fun? They would think you were crazy, and they would probably resent you. It seems we have our priorities mixed up. Perhaps if we spent $50,000 on having fun, we wouldn't have so many heart attacks. Think about it. Having pleasure is abnormal, but having pain is normal. Waiting is a trap. Why are we waiting to be healthy, to be happy, to be alive, to be wealthy, to start a new business, to fall in love, to communicate, to clear up the relationships we are in? Waiting is a trap. We wait for interest rates to go down, for the economy to get better, for a person to change, for the holiday to pass, before starting a diet. But there will always be a reason to wait. What if help doesn't show up? I knew a beautiful, intelligent young woman who had everything to live for, and yet tried to kill herself several times with alcohol and drugs. Do you know why? She always felt something was missing from her life. She didn't know she could create her life the way she wanted to. Instead, she was waiting for someone to bring her happiness to her. But that person never showed up. This desire to have other people provide our happiness, or the belief that we can provide others happiness, accounts for the endless procession of social schemes and organized drives for a better world. Our major illusion is that we can build a society that functions on a higher psychological and spiritual level than our present level of awareness. Many people are just a work for a better society or a better world. This is a great error. Since we cannot create anything higher than our own level of awareness, society as a whole isn't get much better. Society's systems for social change only adds a new burden on top of an old burden. Our overwhelmed mind has no idea what to do with all the social schemes thrust upon us. But in our desperation to make things better, it forces us to try to make sense out of nonsense. The problem is that we're trying to right the world's wrongs from the outside in. We attempt to reform the outside world by forcing outer conditions to change. Unfortunately, this outside-in approach is doomed to failure, because we are dealing with the effect instead of the cause. Changing from the inside out, we need to remind ourselves, and every individual on this planet, that we can and must change the world from the inside out. We have overwhelming proof that the outside-in approach does not work. The long-term solution to poverty, lack and limitation lies in our ability to turn our inner potential into reality. The only way we can truly heal the world is to heal ourselves first. This is not a new message, but I think we need to remind ourselves of who we are, and what we are capable of. We need to take responsibility for everything that has happened to us. Through the law of attraction, we attract either consciously or unconsciously everything that happens to us. Whatever anyone has done to us, we have participated in it, and are at some level responsible. In essence, there are no victims, only volunteers. This is a hard pill to swallow, but unless we accept it, we cannot change things for the better. We have become a culture of blamers. Yet, if your wristwatch shows the wrong time, what would you do about it? Would you ask your neighbor to set their watch according to yours, or would you correct your watch? Unfortunately, we do not make similar corrections when our lives are not working. Instead, we insist that our reality should conform to our illusion. Starting point of success. Your unlimited power lies in your ability to control your thoughts. A confused mind works in the direction of sickness, poverty, lack and limitation, rather than in the direction of abundance, health, and success. If we are not creating our lives the way we want them to be, we are creating from our unconscious. But since life is consciousness, the most important task we have is the development of the highest possible consciousness. We can do this by looking at the conditions of our lives and challenging our beliefs, even if our ego is threatened. Whenever we want something in our lives, we must let go of anything that is between what we believe and what we want. In your heart, you know exactly what you want. And if you will listen to your intuition, it will tell you. Your mind will sell you out, but your intuition never will. Your intuition is your connection with the ultimate power. Learn to trust it. People can control you through your mind, but they can never control you through your intuition. We imagine we will lose something by following our intuition. But have you ever taken a look at what you have lost by not following your intuition? Whatever your intuition is telling you is what you need to hear. As you learn to trust it more and more, it will reveal exactly what you need to do at any given moment. Your life is important. It is important to you, and it is important to the rest of the people on this planet. I believe that every person on this planet arrived here with mission. If you will listen to your intuition, your purpose, or your mission will be revealed to you. Chapter 2: The Truth About You. If you want to take control of your life, it's important that you gain a basic understanding of who you are. Our self-image, which is the picture of ourselves that we hold in our minds, becomes the key to our lives. All our actions, feelings, and behavior, and even our abilities, are consistent with this formed picture. We literally act out the kind of person that we think that we are. What we need to be aware of is that, as long as we hold on to that picture, no amount of willpower, effort, determination or commitment will cause us to be any other way, because we're always going to act the way we see ourselves. To be any other way, we must first look at how we form our self-image. Our mental blueprint from birth onward. We collect hundreds of ideas about ourselves as being good or bad, wise or stupid, confident or fearful, and so on. Through repetition, these often false identities harden into our self-image. This self-image either allows us to be happy and successful, or it tyrannizes our lives. Whether we realize it or not, within ourselves is a mental blueprint. It's a picture of the way that we think that we are. This blueprint is exact and complete down to the last detail. This summary or blueprint is our self-image. However, this blueprint is not who we are, but rather who we think we are. The circumstances or conditions that formed our self-image may have been totally erroneous or blown out of proportion, but as far as we are concerned, they are true. Once we record this information, we do not question its validity. Most of the time we can't even consciously recall how or where we obtained this information. We just live as though it were true. Even if it's not true, we believe it's true. The secret of the ages: the vast majority has missed the message that all the great teachers since the beginning of recorded history have tried to share with their fellow human beings. The secret of the ages, the one most incredible truth that very few realize, is that at the being level, which we will call your higher self, you are spiritually whole, complete and perfect. Just as a drop of water has all the qualities of the ocean, you have all the qualities of the Creator within you. Science, philosophy, and religion all teach in their own way that there's ultimately one power in the universe, and that we're one with the power, energy, force, or whatever you're comfortable with. You and I are individualized expressions of all the power of the universe. This can be called your higher self. We can never destroy the higher self within us. We can deny that it's there, we can try to hide from it, we can lie about it, but ultimately we cannot change the fact that it's who we are. What we need to do is to recognize that it is who we are, and learn how to channel it through our thoughts. Who you are, and what you do, is not the same. We must understand the distinction between who we are, and what we do. Who we are is spiritually perfect, but what we do is not always perfect. The gap between who we are, and what we do, is created through ignorance. When we don't know that we are spiritually perfect, it follows that our actions will be less than perfect. I'd like you to do something right now. Just say to yourself, I know that who I am is spiritually perfect. Now listen to the little voice in your head. It's probably saying, oh, no, I'm not. The affirmation of perfection seriously threatens your ego. Your ego immediately sends back the response, what do you mean you're perfect? Come on now, take a good look at yourself. Look at the way you treat other people. Remember what you did yesterday. You're always complaining. How about the way you treat your mother, your father, your boss and your mate? How about the way you treat yourself? And remember that terrible thing you did back in 1986. How can you say you are spiritually perfect after that? Take a good look at yourself and stop this nonsense. Your ego is trying to trick you, you see. Your ego does not want you to take a good look at yourself. It wants you to take a bad look at yourself. It wants you to identify with everything that you are not. It wants you to identify with your actions and feel guilty. It wants you to judge, condemn, and blame yourself for not living up to the pictures and expectations of yourself and others. You must recognize that your ego is trying to trick you. This is not the truth about you. The way out of this is to affirm your own perfection. It's not an ego trip to affirm your own perfection. It's an ego trip not to affirm your own perfection. Remember, the first and most essential step in changing your life, no matter what you want to be, do, or have, is to realize your own perfection based upon the truth about you, that you are spiritually whole, complete and perfect.